Harry snaps at Meghan, declaring, "You don't control me anymore." Cracks appear in their relationship as they contemplate their next steps. Will this disagreement lead to a failed marriage, or will Harry's defiance soon be quelled? Let's delve into this situation right away. Hello friends, welcome to the King YouTube channel. Alright everyone, the Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy's recent visit to Canada to promote next year's Invictus Games should have been a triumph for them. After all, we could argue that Invictus remains their most respected and enduring project. However, when Prince Harry and Meghan attended a wheelchair curling event in Whistler on February 16th, observers noticed tension between the couple. They seemed unaware of the people around them, including the media present to witness the exchange. A witness noticed that Harry appeared fed up and disinterested in whatever Meghan was saying to him. It's hardly surprising that more cracks are starting to show between Harry and Meghan. Royal experts claim that since Harry rushed back to London to visit his father after his cancer diagnosis earlier this month, he seems to be taking the lead in family matters. An insider revealed to New Idea magazine there's definitely been a power shift between Harry and Meghan. He's deeply worried about his father, and yes, also the Princess of Wales, and this has sparked an urge to be closer to his family. Harry has publicly expressed his willingness to spend more time in the UK to support his family, especially while Charles and Catherine deal with their health issues. Some see this as evidence that he's taking charge. However, a source speaking to OK magazine claims that Meghan wants to distance herself from England. Despite this, Harry believes it's essential to mend the rifts, even if it means sacrificing Meghan's support. One revealing moment came during an interview with Good Morning America on February 16th. When asked about his emotional trip to London, Harry responded, "Look, I love my family." This statement contrasts sharply with the criticisms he and Meghan have made about the royal family since leaving the UK. According to the source, this indicates Harry's control over the family narrative, leaving Meghan feeling powerless. Currently, Harry holds the advantage. "I've always wished Harry the best in his new life in the US, and I still do. But honestly, I can't help but feel sorry for him to some extent. Before he married Meghan, he seemed to really enjoy life. He was outgoing, cheerful, and loved activities like skiing, playing polo, flying helicopters, and even going on motorcycle adventures. But a lot of that excitement seems to have vanished since Meghan came into the picture. Before Meghan, Harry also valued his family and friendships greatly. He had friends from school, buddies in the army, people who understood him, shared his interests, and could be trusted. These were folks who prioritized family and friendship. But now, who does Harry turn to for advice and support? I doubt Meghan shares his interests. For instance, she doesn't seem interested in sports or adventurous activities like charity parachute jumps. Now, Harry finds himself far away from his friends and family with Meghan as his main companion. Meghan doesn't seem to have close relationships with most of her family, except her mother, Doria. Sure, Doria is nice, but it's strange that Meghan has cut ties with everyone else. Harry never even met Meghan Markle's father. Their two kids must have so many cousins in California, but do they know any of them? Have they ever met any? Probably not. Right now, Harry's life seems incredibly empty and superficial. He must feel lonely and bored. And what about that big house in Montecito, California? Meghan Markle just had to live there, close to a list of celebrities, thinking maybe she'd become one too. Look at me, I made it, I'm one of you, now we can be friends. But that plan didn't work out well. Is that what Harry wants or needs? Even if the celebrities wanted to be friends with them, would that truly help Harry? Now, Harry's facing a tough truth: he doesn't have any friends. Despite his occasional bratty behavior, he was generally well-liked and happy before Meghan. But now, without his royal connections, not being invited to weddings or family Christmas gatherings in the UK, it must be painful. Harry needs to realize that he and Meghan pose a threat to his own family. Naturally, the circles that once welcomed him are now shutting him out. Harry even mentioned that he didn't like Meghan's holiday scene. He seems miserable all the time, like a sulky child. Even when Meghan tries to hold his hand, he doesn't look happy about it. Harry used to seem to enjoy life, but now he often wears a grimace on his face. When Meghan is around, it's evident that Harry feels controlled by her. He must realize on some level that he left his family for freedom only to end up under the influence of a narcissist. Harry's life seems sad now. He's trapped in a relationship with a controlling wife who always dictates where he should be. He probably knows he made a mistake, but it seems he lacks the courage to break free from this toxic situation. I can't understand why he doesn't just leave. Eventually, the truth will come out, and whatever Meghan believes she's holding over the royal family pales in comparison to the secrets she's hiding. Unfortunately, Harry likely realizes he can't simply return to his old life. So much has happened. Harry has treated his family, who truly loves him, as enemies. I recall hearing about William asking Harry about the therapist he was seeing and expressing concern. The issue is that Harry is putting complete trust in Meghan and her associates, who seem to be taking advantage of him. I'm not sure if he'll ever wake up from this nightmare. It's easy to keep lying to oneself when facing the truth is too difficult. When William said Harry has chosen a really tough path, I'd say that's an understatement. Remember when Harry said he didn't like living in a fishbowl? Well, look at him now. He's under much more scrutiny than ever before, even compared to his time as a member of the royal family. He used to complain about being controlled by the men in gray suits, but now it's Meghan Markle who's calling the shots. He doesn't have to tolerate her behavior he chooses to. Meghan has undermined him in so many ways, and now he seems to lack confidence. Trying to please Meghan is just wasting Harry's time. His life has spun out of control, and while divorce won't instantly fix everything, it could be a fresh start for him. Maybe he could rediscover his old self. Of course, he'd have to swallow his pride and return to the UK, but it might be worth it in the end. Harry could end up as a rather pitiful middle-aged man, especially if his divorce leaves him drained financially. The best outcome for him would likely be determined by King Charles as reigning monarch. If Charles thinks it's wise to bring Harry back for royal duties, he technically has the power to make it happen. However, Charles doesn't make decisions alone. He relies on advisors, aides, and Parliament. He also values the support of William and Catherine, who are incredibly popular, along with their 3 children. It's unlikely that William or Catherine would support Harry returning to royal duties at this time. Charles is also supported and advised by his sister Anne, the Princess Royal, and her husband, Timothy Lawrence, to some extent. Anne is known as one of the hardest working royals, despite being in her 70s. It's unlikely she would support Harry's possible return. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh have also been more visible since Edward inherited his late father's title. Both are diligent workers, often overlooked by the media, and unlikely to favor Harry's return to the UK at this time. Honestly, we might be more likely to see Prince Andrew back on the scene before Harry. Despite his issues, Andrew hasn't been convicted of anything and has refrained from speaking poorly about his family. Despite losing many privileges, including his HRH title, royal duties, and military uniform, Andrew has maintained a low profile. The only medals Prince Andrew is allowed to wear are the ones he earned during his service in the Falklands War. Despite facing attempts to evict him from his home at Royal Lodge, he hasn't complained. Andrew likely wouldn't support Harry's return either. Perhaps most importantly, there's Camilla. She's the one person Charles trusts completely and has played a significant role in his happiness. Harry has made negative remarks about her, so it's unlikely she would support his return to duty. Therefore, there's no need to worry about Harry suddenly becoming a working royal again. The Queen relied on the support of her family, particularly Charles and William, during the Sandringham summit. If Charles were to go rogue and welcome back Harry, he knows it would come at a cost. William and Catherine wouldn't support him, and even then Timothy might retire. The Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh don't need the extra work. Maybe Princess Michael of Kent could step in, but it's doubtful. Charles needs his family's support now more than ever, especially as he undergoes cancer therapy. Bringing back Harry would be a disaster. The royal family wouldn't support him. Most people don't even seem to have any contact with him anymore. The few who do, like Eugenie, Beatrice, and Zara, aren't working members of the royal family. Honestly, out of that list, I think only Eugenie is currently in touch with Harry. As for the citizens of the UK, Harry has already expressed his dislike for Britain, the British media, royal duties, and his family. So what purpose would he serve in the UK? Does he believe that returning to the UK will magically revert things to how they were in 2015? It's unlikely. Harry wouldn't be welcomed in the UK at this time, and he needs to accept that reality. As for my opinion on this issue, I believe Harry's priority should be to focus on his own well being and that of his family, regardless of his location. If you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with others who might enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to the King YouTube channel to show your support. Thank you for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.